Yeah, Duaa, you can keep going. We will start for today's session.
On behalf of the organizing community, I am delighted to welcome you to the third Global Optometry Student Summit Middle East session. It is wonderful to have professors, researchers, optometrists, and students joining us from different parts of the world. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy today's session. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Duaa Mosaad, and I am a third-year optometry student at University of Al-Brahmi. I'm joining you today from Sultanate of Oman, and it is my pleasure to be your moderator for this session with Dr. Ameer Yahya Hassoun. Dr. Ameer?
نعم.
Yes, you can introduce yourself now. عرف عن نفسك.
مساء الخير جميعا. بالنيابة عن اللجنة التنظيمية في القمة العالمية الثالثة لقسم تقنيات البصريات جلسة الشرق الأوسط، يسعدني انضمام الأساتذة والدكاترة والأخصائيين البصريات من كافة أنحاء العالم. شكرا لحضوركم. معكم أستاذ في قسم تقنيات البصريات أمير يحيى من دولة العراق من محافظة بغداد، حاصل على شهادة البكالوريوس في قسم تقنيات البصريات، وأعمل الآن معيد، وكذلك لدي كثير من المبادرات في العراق، وأود أن أشارك هذه المبادرات في كافة الدول العالم. شكرا جزيلا لكم.
To begin today's program, it's my pleasure to welcome Mrs. Dania Alomran.
قبل ما نبدأ جميعا راح أتكلم باللغة العربية بداية. فيكم خاصية الترجمة هي عبارة عن أيقونة بأسفل الشاشة، هي عبارة عن دبل سي باللغة الإنجليزية، تقدروا تكبسوا عليها. مجرد ما يصير يظهر أمامكم الكابشن تضغطوا عليه وتقدروا تحولوا لغة التكلم للغة الأم ولغة الترجمة للغة الإنجليزية، حتى متكلم اللغة العربية يقدر يفهم الشخص اللي أمامه، والشخص برضو يقدر يظهر الترجمة بشكل صحيح عند الحضور. راح نتبع معكم بخطوات تفعيل الترجمة الشات، تقدروا تكملوا معهم. دكتور أمير راح يساعدكم في حال كان عندكم أي مشكلة خلال تفعيل خاصية الترجمة. So, I will speaking right now. I will introduce myself. I'm Dania Alomran, Regional Director for the Middle East at OPTOGLOBE. And welcome to our global community for today. Today, in this dedicated Middle East Day, we are connected through these across oceans and borders. But let me tell you something, these screens separate us. They unite our efforts. As the regional director for the Middle East, I look at this virtual room and I don't just see students. I see the architect generation of the global eye care. The world is moving at an unprecedented speed. Technology, artificial intelligence, and telemedicine are reshaping how human beings experience healthcare in this rapidly evolving landscape. The Middle East is no longer just observing global trends. We are actively shaping them. We are linking regional talent directly with the global stage, proving that brilliance knows no geographical boundaries. So let me be very clear, our clinical skills, our days spent in exam room, refraction room, and our precision in patient care are the absolute baseline of our pride. The clinical is where our experts is born, and it remains our virtual core. But today I challenge you to expand the vision beyond the boundaries of traditional practice. Vision, we must lift our eyes from the phoropters and look at the broader horizon of health policy, innovation, and visual diplomacy. So being an optometrist in this era means understanding that your impact Sudan stop at the clinic door. True diplomacy in eye health means bringing our clinical excellence to the table where the national policies are written. It means making sure vision care is recognized not as a luxury but as a fundamental human right in a global health framework. We need the clinical masters who are also visionary leaders. So today it fills my heart with immense pride to showcase the incredible achievement in divided and innovation led by our students right here in the Middle East. Our youth wait for resources or a blueprint, they created them. We have seen our peers develop a brilliant community screening program, innovate awareness campaigns that reach thousands of patients, and utilize digital solutions to tackle regional vision gaps. So these actions on the ground are ultimate proof that actions speak louder than words. We didn't just sit behind screens and wish for a better future. Our students went out and implemented it. We are exporting innovation from the Middle East to the rest of the world. This is our reality today, and it's transmitted to what happens when youth energy is backed up by relentless drive to execute. And did this path of structured ambition catch fire? It was through OPTOGLOBE. For me and other of member at OPTOGLOBE Middle East team was the historical catalyst. It wasn't just a community, it was a launch pad that took our raw, unspoken dreams and turned them into structured, unshakable realities. It built the concrete road we are walking on today, connecting our regional heartbeat with the global healthcare organization. So, finally, to every optometry student tuned into this summit, this is your moment. Don't let the speed of the world outpace your potential. The baseline is your clinical excellence. Now, your leadership on top of it. Take the fire and ambition we fostered in OptoGlobe and turn into active execution in your communities. You are leaders, the diplomats, the future of global vision care. Let us turn our screens into windows of global impact, and together let's make future clear. Thank you, everyone, and I will keep you going with Duaa.
Thank you very much, Dania, for your inspiring words. It is now my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Zoelfigar Mohamed. Dr. Mohamed is an optometry program chair at University of Al-Barami in Sultanate of Oman and a senior consultant of optometry at Sudanese Medical Board. He has extensive experience in optometry education and clinical practice in different countries. He obtained his PhD from Milan University in Sudan and has a strong research profile in optometry and eye disease. He is also actively involved in community awareness. Today he will be presenting from classroom to clinic, preparing the next generation of optometry professionals. Dr. Mohamed, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Duaa, for this introduction. And also, it is nice to me to introduce by my student. That is very, for me more. Thank you also, OptoGlobe, for this invitation. My screen is visible for you?
Yeah, it's clear, Doctor. You can keep going.
Okay, my talk today will be about from classroom to clinic, preparing the next generation of optometry professional, because students for today, they are optometrists in the future. So the vision care, visual impairment, myopia management, all these things depend on them. So they will reshape if we build student with good capacity in terms of clinical setting, in terms of knowledge, that means in the future will we have good professional, we have good optometrists. Before starting, can you scan this QR, which is about based on your practice or experience? What was the biggest obstacle you faced as a student when translating or transitioning from a classroom to the clinic? I will give you 2 minutes. You will go for this QR and I will see your response. Even for those who are graduated or those who they have good experience now, I need the response regarding this point. Also, it will mean for us things when we deal with this topic. Okay, now if we satisfied by this outcomes, if you look now, you will find applying theoretical knowledge to practice is a big issue. So the student, they will come with nil knowledge maybe about the optometry, then after that they will get more knowledge. But when they come back to the clinical setting, they will find this knowledge is not used, or they cannot use their knowledge in their practice. One of also the problem I saw in the literature, communicating effectively, communication between the student and the clinicians in the hospital, those people who are there. Also, it will lead to some periods and managing time because students, they have different tasks they need to do during their education life. Some requirement related to the assignment, research, revising the chapters. Okay, also, but if you look for these two parts, you will find the communication effectively and applying theoretical, which is top, is more compared with other factors. Let us go for our presentation. Now, I will address this topic through the introduction about this from classroom to the clinic and optometric education in Eastern Mediterranean region, because we are there. We need to discuss this point here, and clinical placement, which is a big issue for the student and for the institution, and pedagogy for transitions and effective delivery techniques, and then the takeaways. Let us do this introduction. If you look a student of clinical degrees like such as medicine, optometry, any others, they have challenging when they transfer or when they transmit from theoretical to the practical. And also there is very important point. Higher education, they have some objectives. This objective for this higher education institute to build a professional peoples that to meet competency standard. These competency standards, it will measure for each country. Now, if you move from any country to country, you will find there is exam in this country. This is to this country, they need to be sure about the competency standards. Okay, so this higher education institute, they prepare you for this competency standard for real world practice. And globally, optometry degree program, it is taken now from starting, if you go for the history, you will find it start from 2 years. But currently, between, as WCO, between 4 to 6 years. And some countries, they add more than that, like countries who they have, like, OD. But in the normal situation, between 4 to 6. Very important, if you need to understand the idea of education. Education, it will come through these outcomes. When we present any program means if you have a bachelor of optometry, okay, so we need some objectives. This objective will create around 3 objectives or 4 objectives. To gain this objective, we have SOs and COs. COs, which is basic, that means each course includes some outcomes. This outcomes from the course, it will lead to achieve student outcomes. Student outcomes, it will lead to achieve program outcomes. Even after that, you will find program outcomes, it will achieve the university outcomes. Then after that, you will find this also achieve country outcomes. Another things, when we need to create any syllabus for any programs, we need to start to depend on this taxonomy, which is called Bloom taxonomy. The Bloom taxonomy depends on the idea of to build the knowledge from the basic. If you look here, you will find start from remember. That means to recognize and recalling the facts. So now if I need to study about myopia management, I will start to study about what is the myopia. Then after that, I will go, what is the clinical presentation of myopia? Then I will go up till I will go up to apply this knowledge. That means I will go to refraction, I will see what's happened, then I will analyze the knowledge, then evaluate, then I will create. That means I will do prescription and I will deal with my patient. This framework from our University of Pemije, any education institute should have these things, this 4 stool or 4 you can say 4 corner stools. Like very, very important to be successful. You have to competent curriculum. Then to achieve this curriculum, you should have constructive learning environment. If I say the environment, I will speak about classroom, I will speak about the all campus, start from A to Z. And then very important now in the university higher education, learner center instructions. That means now the education not just depend on the teacher. Students should have participate in this learning. And then to achieve or to be sure you achieve your outcomes, you need to do authentic assessment, because normal assessment, that means writing, MCQ, this, it will not give real evaluation for those people who need to do something like skills, practical. So authentic assessment is very important. That means you will assess, or as an instructor, you will assess the real life situation for the student. Let us see our situation in Eastern Mediterranean region. As education, we have different institutes in different countries. And this here, if you look, we have in Algeria, we have a license, something called a license. And if you go for Egypt, we have BSc, but still professionally, the optometrists, they not do their role as optometrist. Iran, we have BSc. Iraq, we have BSc. Jordan, we have BSc. Lebanon, Morocco, it is a license. And Oman, we have BSc. Palestine, we have Saudi, we have Doctor of Optometry and as well as BSc. Sudan, which is very old programs we have from 1954, start from diploma, continue till currently we have PhD, and after that the student, they can go up for master and PhD. In Tunisia, there is license, and in Yemen, they said BSc, that means I think still they didn't start. So if you look for all this program, especially the duration, you would find the duration is not standardized, starting from 3 till 6 or 7. Okay. Also, there is some variation even in the syllabus, variation in the competency. Okay. To achieve these things, this study, which is conducted by Dr. Yazan and others, they said we need to do some collaboration to harmonize these things to improve the quality of optometry education in Eastern Mediterranean region. Another thing, if you look for this slide, which is part of our study we published last year about the scope of optometry practice in Eastern Mediterranean region, we shared this questionnaire and survey, and we published again in a good journal, which is Kyoto Journal Scopus under the WHO. We found there is significant. Please mute your mic if possible. Okay, significant.
Dr. Zoelfigar, you're
now okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, there is significant variations in the scope of optometry in our region, and we need to widen the scope of optometry because in some countries you find the optometrists they can do refraction just, okay, no more than refraction. Some countries they expand, they give myopia management, dry eye management. So very important to widen and expand the scope of optometry, and comprehensive training and equipment support to enable optometrists to achieve and to be competent when they work. And if you look here for this table, you will find visual acuity, case history, which is common we need to do. But when we go after retinoscopy and external eye examination, you will find the percentage of doing this measurement, it will be reduced. It can be acceptable for some thing, like it will be acceptable for non-contact tonometry, can be acceptable for contact tonometry, can be acceptable for visual analysis, but if you visual field analysis. But if you go up slit lamp or optometry, they need to do binocular vision. How you can write prescription without minimum check the cover test, and you need to do balance. Okay, so we need some training to give a chance or to encourage optometrists to do all this tests. This it will happen in continuous education as well as when we build a new generation for optometrists as students. Very important part in optometry education, clinical placement. And it is remain invaluable and very important resource in preparing students for the reality of their professional role. So you cannot start optometry program and you don't have any deal with any hospital or any eye center. So very important this part, and this it will lead to support the integration of theory of practice to real world setting. But these things, if it is happen suddenly, that means from classroom, I took my student directly to the hospital, it will be issue. So we have preclinical lab. This preclinical lab, currently simulation is there. I know it is expensive. Some countries it's difficult to do these things, but it is very important to take our student to simulation to see the refraction in the simulation way. Then after that, they can do the refraction in the human or in peers. Common student concern with placement that include feeling of unprepared, sometimes anxiety, sometimes it is new environment to them. But if we take them gradually, starting from clinical, before the clinical, we can go for preclinical lab. That means if I need to do retinoscopy can be do in the model eye, okay, or in any nature of simulation. Even ophthalmoscopy now we can do it in simulation. Okay, there is some ways to do that in the college. Then after that, we can shift to the hospital. Another things, apply knowledge and skills with, as I may ask before, and most of you, they respond like that, the apply of knowledge. That means you get more knowledge about refraction, about visual optics, but when you come to the clinic, you cannot find there is correlation between them. But very important for instructor, for faculty, to take this information which is come in the classroom to be there in the clinic. This it will enhance the understanding and respond unpredictable situation. Also, it will be an issue. Respond to the needs of clients. This is very important because at the end it will lead to growth in competency through the reflective practice. At the end, as I said, authentic teaching and learning environment is very important. And as I said, you can start from lab, and even like that. This is a mannequin. Okay, this mannequin, in this mannequin, you can do refraction, you can do assessment, and mannequin can respond to you, can deal with you. You'll ask the mannequin because there is software. The mannequin can answer you. So this is very important for us as optometrists. It will lead to really correlate and be like a bridge between the theoretical and the clinical setting. This will be like lab. So you will not deal with human, but by the time you will deal with the human when we will be in the last level or before the last level. Pedagogy of transition or bridging theory and practice also, there is something point we need to put in our mind: applied clinical reasoning. So the literature highlights something or something mentioned in the literature, you need to inject this one inside the curriculum. Now in our university, we have some policy, we call this policy Nexus. Nexus policy deal with to inject the research in each course. So when we give any course about, for example, visual optics, we need to look for the studies which discuss topics related to visual optics. We ask our student to read these things and to correlate between the research and their practice, so that it will also enhance the knowledge when they are doing their practice. Also utilizing evidence-based guidelines. This is also very important and will lead to update student and build the bridge between theory and practical. Clinical learning environment is research also indicates that cohesive, supportive CLE, typically in hospital, eye clinic, or dedicated learning facilities, is vital for us or for the student to be or to correlate between theory and practice. There is some strategic, very important for us, but this strategies is different because sometimes you will find the teacher of the course, for example, if we have visual and ocular examination course, this course, sometimes you will find the theory part may be taught by one faculty and the practical part by other faculty. But it's very important, the studies say that it's very good to give the practical and theoretical for the same course for same faculty. So here, the correlate or the knowledge or gap between knowledge and practice, it will be less. Why? Because already this teacher, he knows the student, the level of the student, so he can build this gap or he can fill this gap and the problem, it will be less. So didactic faculty who are teach the theory, he will teach the clinical course. So this will well positioned to enhance classroom learning with recent example from student experience. Another things in another situation, sometimes clinician, because we have clinical instructor. Those clinical instructor, they will go for just for the hospital to deal with the student. So those people also good, but we need to put them not in the basic courses. Like we need to put them in like clinical internship, like practical 1 and practical 2. So they will deal with the student in the hospital. Again, those will support the learning, so the outcomes, it will be also better. There is different effective delivery techniques we can use, like interactive case-based learning. This technique, like instead of passive lecturing, present raw, messy data, you can go for bring some photos, some videos, do some demonstration for some real cases. And then instead of speak about keratoconus, let us bring some photos, some, for example, Caesar reflex video, topography, all this thing I'll put in front of my student. Then when I speak about this point, it will be more clear and it work like for students to act like clinicians and diagnosing, prioritizing tests and managing patient dynamically rather than memorizing textbook chapters. So it will not work good if we just deal with the textbook. You will find yourself when you come to the clinic difficult to do what you read. So if these things happen together, it will be very nice. Another thing, high fidelity simulation. As I said, it can be found in some good country with their economic is good, but we can, instead of simulation, we can go for role play. Role play, it is easy to keep the one student as a patient, other student as clinician, and here they can start to do refraction for their colleagues. So this role play also play a difficult or highly anxious patient, so it will lead to reduce an anxiety. And if you do this test for your colleague continuously, after that you will feel yourself you are confident. Another thing, think aloud. That means when you speak about the case, we need to demonstrate when you do some clinical procedures like this one, specular reflection. You need to do reflection. You need to look for corneal endothelium. So when you see something, you need to think aloud. Now, in slit lamp, there is some slit lamp prepared just for education, include 2 lenses. So the faculty can look from the lens and student from another lens, or even you can, there is option to project the image in the screen. So the thing speak aloud from the student, thinking aloud. So after that, the faculty can give some information, leading for the student, mentoring. This will lead to also improve it will lead to fill the gap between the theory and clinic. Also, scaffolded clinical feedback, and this is very effective from our experience and from the literature. That means not just give and speak and tell the student and go. Take feedback from the student about this model, about these procedures. So this feedback, you can after that do some modification about their response, tell them about what is the right way, hear from them. The faculty, he need to hear from the student, and then this, it will lead to like, feedback, do assessment, identify the outcome, and plan learning, and learn and observe the practice. So this, it will be like continuous process, can also help in this situation. In the final slide, there is some tips we need to put in our mind before leaving this lecture or this presentation. Goal of clinical education, not same as any other education. Here you need to give some information for someone, after that skills to do. Okay, so very important to start from the beginning. Now, most of the universities started to start practice even from the first year, and this is very important. When we start from the first year, at the end, we'll find our student, when they reach the 3rd level, they will be very close to the patient. They can deal with the patient. Regional education in our region, we need to think as a region to do some harmonize about the curriculum. This, it will lead also to do some uniform, you can say, or you can say unity between these countries, because most of us, we can study in some countries and we'll do our practice in another country. If this happen in harmonized way, it will be easy for the professionals. And we need, very important, to bridge the theory between the theory and practice. This is very cornerstone for us, and it is vital for the student. Effective teaching technique we need to use, and we need to update faculty. I need to give them some training to improve themselves, okay, as well as clinical instructors. Faculty and student also development, it should be continuous work. That faculty will not stay in one position and say, this is the last for me. He need to be updated, because this, optometry, now if you think about optometry before 23 years, like you will find optometry just retinoscopy and these things. Then after that, now optometry is totally different. If you are stay in the same position, you cannot practice optometry this time. That's all for this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohamed, for such an insightful presentation. Moving forward for our second speaker, Mrs. Hawa Mahfoodh Al-Shariqi. Hawa Mahfoodh Al-Shariqi is an Omani optometrist with a diploma in optometry from University of Al-Brain and clinical experience in leading eye care centers and hospitals. She currently serves as a president of the Omani Optometry Club, reflecting her commitment to professional leadership and advancement of optometry in the region. Today she will be presenting From Graduation to Career, My Journey into the Professional World. The floor is yours, Ms. Hawa.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
أنا حواء الشريقي، أخصائية بصريات من سلطنة عمان. تخرجت من جامعة البريمي. اليوم راح أتكلم معكم وش هي الحياة بعد التخرج، كيف ممكن إحنا راح نستغل الفرص عشان نحصل على أفضل عرض وظيفي، وكيف نهيئ نفسنا عشان نلتحق في سوق العمل. أول شيء الأخصائي البصريات بعد ما يتخرج من الجامعة راح يواجه عدة تحديات، هي قلة الفرص، خصوصا عندنا إحنا في سلطنة عمان قلة فرص الوظيفية في المجال. ولكن التوجه اللي ممكن إنه يتوجهه أخصائي البصريات الصحيح إنه هو ما يبحث في مجال واحد فقط، اللي هو إنه يتوظف فقط في المستشفيات أو مراكز العيون. في ممكن إنه يتوظف أخصائي البصريات في محلات النظارات ومراكز البصريات اللي هي مراكز العيون، مستشفيات العيون الخاصة أو الحكومية. ونفس الشيء هي شركات المعدات الطبية في مجال العدسات أو الأجهزة الطبية ذات علاقة بأخصائي البصريات. والمجال اللي أنا أراه جديد في مجال البصريات واللي التحقت فيه مؤخرا اللي هو مجال التأمين الصحي في شركات التأمين الصحية. هذه اللي راح أتكلم عن مجال وش هي ميزات كل مجال وكيف إحنا ممكن نهيئ نفسنا إن نكون في هذا المجال. أول شيء اللي هو مراكز البصريات، مراكز العيون ومستشفيات العيون سواء حكومية أو خاصة. في العادة هذه المراكز تتطلب وجود خبرة أو إنه الشخص يكون مهيأ من ناحية التدريب العملي، إنه يكون عنده خبرة كيف يتعامل مع المرضى، الريتينوسكوب، الأجهزة، عنده كامل الأساسيات اللي يحتاجها أخصائي البصريات. أنت كيف تحصل على تدريب بعد التخرج؟ معظم الجامعات فيها برنامج تدريب، ولكن هذا ما يكفي، لأنه أحيانا لما يكون التدريب مع مجموعة ما يكون في تركيز على المعلومات أو تركيز على شخص واحد على أساس إنه يطور من مهاراته. ابحث عن فرصة تدريب في أقرب مكان حالك سواء المستشفيات الحكومية أو الخاصة، أو حتى إذا إنه أمكن إذا ما كان في قريب منك مراكز عيون أو مستشفيات، عندك اللي هي مراكز البصريات ممكن تاخذ فيها تدريب تتعلم فيها أساسيات الفحص والتعامل. بعد التدريب أنت حاول في فترة التدريب تلقط كل الأساسيات والبيسك المتعلقة في المجال البصريات والعمل. ونفس الشيء إنه كيف أنت تتعامل مع المريض نفسه في العيادة. يعني هذه المهارة واجد مهمة جدا على أساس أنت تعرف تأدي عملك بأكمل وجه، إنك كيف تتعامل مع المريض، كيف تاخذ الهستوري مال المريض، كيف بعد ما تسوي له الفحص وكل شيء كيف توجهه إنه يكون تشرح له وش المشكلة الموجودة وش هي البلان عشان تعالج المشكلة الموجودة. بعدها هذه المؤسسات في العادة بعد ما يتدرب الشخص وكل شيء أنت إذا
المطالعة عشان الأراضي ذكريات
ممتاز جدا عندهم يعطوك فرصة عمل عرض وظيفي إذا كانت متوفرة عندهم. ولكن إذا ما عطوك فرصة أنت ظل متابع معهم بين فترة وفترة إنه في حالة وجود فرصة وظيفية عندكم أنا موجود ومستعد إن أنا أنضم للفريق عندكم، وأعطي هذا الانطباع الجيد دائما إنك أنت بعد ما تخلص التدريب أنت راغب إن تكون في هذه المؤسسة. إذا جينا عن إيجابيات العمل في مراكز العيون مستشفيات العيون، هذه إنه أنت تتعامل مع المرضى وتشوف كيسات بشكل متكرر وتعطيك اللي هي خلفية كاملة سواء عن أمراض العيون عن مشاكل النظر اللي تشوفها، وراح تشوف كيسات بشكل متجدد ومختلفة. هذه بتعطيك أنت يعني تعطيك قاعدة معلومات وبيانات ومعرفة كبيرة في كل المجالات اللي تتعلق في العيون. ونفس الشيء تتعامل مع اللي هي مرضى العمليات اللي هي عمليات تصحيح النظر، عمليات النزول الأبيض، عمليات الجلاكوما، يعني بتشوف مرضى من كل أنواع الأمراض بتشوف أنت فيها مرضى. السلبيات أحيانا تكون خصوصا في الخاص إنك أنت تكون وقت العمل طويل، ولكن إنه أحيانا يكون في فلكسبل يعني إنه صباح أو مساء، فهي هذه يمكن السلبية الوحيدة اللي تشوفها، وأحيانا ضغط العمل يكون كبير. أما إذا جينا في مجال اللي هو مراكز البصريات ومحلات النظارات، هذا المجال في واجد أخصائيين بصريات يعني يشوفوا إنه هو ما المجال اللي ممكن إنه هو يتوظف فيه. ولكن أنا قبل لا أداوم في مركز بصريات كان يعني عندي إنه أنا أداوم في عيادة ولكن ما عندي خلفية عن وش أنواع العدسات،
عن وش ممكن أنا أوصف إذا سألني المريض وش نوع العدسة اللي أنا ممكن أستخدمها، ما كان عندي خلفية لأن أنا ما كنت أعرف وش اللي موجود في السوق. ولكن بعد ما التحقت في العمل في قطاع البصريات عرفت إنه هنا وجود أخصائي البصريات في مراكز البصريات يعني يعطيك أنت مهارة جدا كبيرة ما تكتسبها في أي مكان من العمل، يعني ما بتكتسبها أبدا في مراكز العيون، لأنك بتتعلم إنك أنت كيف توجه المريض للخيار الصح، إنه هو يختار النظارة المناسبة حاله، نوع العدسات، كيف ممكن تساعده هذه النظارة في مشكلة النظر الموجودة عنده. يعني وحتى هم المجتمع نفسه يعني يثق بشخص يشرح له كامل الأشياء، ما يتعامل معه على إنه هو شخص فقط جاي يعني يبيع له نظارة، أو إنه يكون إنه أنا بس جاي أنت جيت المحل هنا على أساس أنا بس أستفيد منك ماديا، ما بس أنا ما أعطيك خبرتي أو أشياء اللي أنا تعلمتها في الجامعة أشرح لك إياها. وتعاملنا مع المرضى في مراكز البصريات يكون مختلف عن تعاملنا في العيادة، لأنه هنا هو جاي يشتري، أنت أساس إنه تقنعه بالشيء اللي راح تبيعه، لأنه أنت محتاج نفس الشيء. إنه أحيانا في بعض المحلات أخصائي البصريات مطلوب منه إنه يحقق تارجت من المبيعات، فأنت نفس الشيء محتاج إنه تعطيه أفضل خيار مناسب حاله طبيا وليس ماديا. يعني ممكن سعر العدسة يكون أقل أو سعر النظارة يكون أقل من أنت متوقع إنه أو مطلوب منك، ولكن أنت طبيا تشوفه إنه هو محتاج هذا الشيء فقط. نفس الشيء في إيجابيات إنه تتعلم مهارات البيع، مهارات الحساب، مهارات إنك أنت كيف تتعامل مع مختلف الكستمر، كيف تقدر تقنعهم إنه هم ياخذوا هذا الشيء. الشيء السلبي نفس الشيء هو توقيت الدوام فيه، وأحيانا إنه تضطر تداوم في الويكند، إجازات تكون أقل، ولكن تطلع من تجربة العمل في مراكز البصريات بمعلومات ومهارات أنت ما بتكتسبها في أي مكان ثاني، وتقدر بعدها لما تتوظف في عيادة أنت تسخر هذه الأشياء اللي أنت تعلمتها في إنك أنت لما يجيك المريض تشرح له كامل المشكلة، إن أنت عندك مثلا قصر نظر، تحتاج نظارة كذا، العدسات الموجودة في السوق كذا كذا، اللي يعني هذه العدسة الموجودة معك الموجودة بتساعدك على حل هذه المشكلة الموجودة عندك. نيجي على موضوع اللي هي الشركات الطبية وشركات المعدات الطبية. وجود أخصائي البصريات أنا من وجهة نظر أشوفه مهم في هذه، لأنه أنت بتكون كأخصائي بصريات هذا مجالك، تكمل مجال إن أنت درسته. يعني مثلا في شركات العدسات الطبية اللي هي عدسات سوفت كونتاكت لينز، أنت لما تروح تشرح للمؤسسة أو المحل اللي راح ياخذ من عندك هذه العدسات، تكون أنت تشرح له من ناحية علمية، عندك خلفية إنه هذه ليش تستخدم وكل شيء، وبتبدع. يعني شخص يبدع فيه. أنا قربت 6 أشهر أشتغل في شركة معدات طبية، وكانت تجربة جدا ممتازة، إنه سخرت معلوماتي ومعرفتي ومجالي في التخصص في إن أنا أشرح كنت أنا أتعامل مع المرضى مباشرة، إن أنا أشرح لهم المشكلة من كل النواحي، ما فقط على أساس إن أنا أبيع لهم، ولكن إن أشرح المشكلة من كل النواحي، وبعدين أنا أعطيك حل للمشكلة الموجودة عندك. هذا المجال حلو، ولكن المشكلة فيه إن هي ماركتينج، إنك أنت كأنك تعمل ماركتينج للبرودكت الأدوات اللي عندك المتوفرة، ولكن إنه وقت الدوام ويحتاج تتنقل. واحدة من الأشياء المهمة نفس الشيء إنه أنت شركات معدات طبية، شركات متخصصة بتوفير معدات اللو فيجن، أنت هنا بتتأهل إنك أنت تعطي، وما بس يعني تبيع أو تشرح، إنك أنت حتى تقوم بعمل الفيتنج لهذه الأدوات، وحتى العدسات أنت تقوم عمل فيتنج في حالها للمرضى مباشرة. كذا يعطي انطباع للمؤسسات اللي بتتعاقد مع الشركة إنه إحنا ما محتاجين إنه الأوبتومترس عندنا يكون مهيأ إنه يكون يعمل فيتنج حال هذه الأدوات، أنت كشخص من الشركة تعمل الفيتنج كامل، وتساعد يعني المؤسسة إنه هي الشخص يقتنع بالموضوع بالجهاز هذا. موضوع تواجد أخصائي البصريات في شركات التأمين هذا موضوع يعني جديد في مجال شركات التأمين، وجديد لمجال البصريات. ليش إنه أخصائي البصريات يكون موجود في شركات التأمين في القسم الطبي اللي هو الميديكال تيم؟ هذا إنه في واجد مطالبات توصل لشركات التأمين من مراكز عيون أو محلات النظارات، تعاقد بينهم. أتوقع الأغلب بأنه يعرف أنه في تعاقد يكون بين محلات النظارات وشركات التأمين على أساس الناس يأخذوا نظارات طبية عن طريق الانشورنس. هنا اللي كان تواجهه شركة التأمين إنه الموظفين نفسهم ما أدوات يعني باك جراوند في الأوبتيكال أو في العيون، فكانت تصرف الشركات التأمين تصرف مبالغ كبيرة في هذا المجال. يعني على حسب إحصائيات شركات التأمين إنه تصرف ثاني أكثر مجال يصرف فيه فلوس اللي هي مجال الأوبتيكال ومجال العيون. وجود أخصائي البصريات هنا تكون مفاهيم، هو فاهم المفاهيم الموجودة، فاهم أنواع العدسات، فاهم وش هي أمراض العيون وهذا المرض وش يحتاج أو وش الشيء اللي هو ما يحتاجه. هل هذا الشيء يحتاج إنه شركة التأمين تغير نظرتها فيه؟ يعني مثلا شركات التأمين ما تغطي اللي هي عمليات السكونت عند الأطفال، تعتبره شيء تجميلي، ولكن هو هذه مشكلة طبية ما شيء تجميلي عند الأطفال. فتوجه إنه يغير إنه تغير هذه النظرة لهذا المجال. عندك نفس الشيء العدسات، النظارات يعتبروها على إن أحيانا شيء من النظارات يعتبروها على أساس إن هذه ما تعتبر، مثلا نظارة القراءة يعتبروها شيء إضافي ما تعتبر اللي هي شيء طبي، إن الشخص يحتاج نظارة للقراءة بسبب وجود مشكلة ما، لأنه هو يحتاج شيء يساعده. فهذه الأشياء ما بتتغير إلا وجود أخصائي البصريات فيها، ويحدث فرق كبير ويعطي ثقة ما بين المؤسسات إنه وجود شخص فاهم في هذا المجال يعطينا إحنا تعاون أكبر، تطوير أكثر، ويتغير واجد مفاهيم. تتغير مفاهيم عند الأشخاص المتعاملين مع التأمين والأشخاص اللي عندهم تأمين وياخذوا شيء عن طريق التأمين فيه. نفس الشيء راح أتكلم نقطة بما إني رئيسة نادي البصريات في عمان، والهدف الأساسي من وجود هذا النادي إنه إحنا نوعي المجتمع بمشاكل العيون. وجود أخصائي البصريات في هذه الفعاليات في هذه الحملات التوعوية يفرق كبير في واجد أشياء، إنك أنت قاعد تقدم حل للمجتمع اللي هي معرفتك. يعني خلال هذه الفعاليات اللي تصير والحملات التوعوية هنا يكون في لقاء مباشر من غير إن أنا ما جاي للعيادة أو للمركز البصريات، جاي هنا فقط أنا جاي للفعالية أشوف وش موجود، أنت تعطيني الأشياء اللي أنت تعرفها بشكل عام، يعني تشرح له عن أمراض العيون بشكل عام كذا. هنا أنت كشخص كأخصائي بصريات تطور معك مهارة إنك أنت كيف توعي الناس عن مشاكل العيون. نفس الشيء إنك كيف تتعامل مع الناس، إدارة الفعاليات، كيف تنظم فعالية، كيف تكون ذا أثر مجتمع، يعني تقدم أثر مجتمع للمجتمع إنك أنت تكون موجود في هذه الحملات التوعوية واللي هي الفعاليات. وجود نفس الشيء مشاركة أخصائي البصريات اللي هي إنه الشخص كأخصائي بصريات لازم يكون متواجد فيها، اللي هي المؤتمرات والفعاليات خاصة بالمجال. هذه تعطيك أنت دائما تكون مجدد معلوماتك، لأنه المعلومات أحيانا أنت تكون ما عندك فكرة عنها، ولكن حضورك للمؤتمرات والورش هذه يعطيك أبديت للمعلومات الموجودة عندك بشكل دائم، تعرف وش الجديد في مجال التخصص، وش موجود عند الناس هذيلا وإحنا ما موجود عندنا، ممكن إحنا إنه نستفيد منه. نفس الشيء يكون لك قاعدة بيانات وقاعدة معارف من أخصائي البصريات في المجال، أنت تقدر تستشيرهم وقت ما أنت تحتاج استشارة أو معلومة في المجال. نفس الشيء يخلق لك أنك أنت ممكن تحصل فرصة وظيفية في هذاك الوقت، يعني ممكن تحصل زميلك يداوم في مؤسسة ثانية وهو عندهم فرصة مجال للوظيفة، أنت هناك بتحصله، ممكن إنه هو يسوي لك توصية للمؤسسة الموجود فيها. فهذه الأشياء يعني أشياء أحيانا إحنا كأخصائيين بصريات نشوفها ما مهمة أو ما قاعدة تساعدنا، ولكن هي تساعدنا بشكل كبير إن إحنا نكون متميزين في مجال العمل، وجودنا مهم في سوق العمل، وإنه نعطي ونأثر بشكل كبير في هذا المجال. شكرا لكم جميعا.
Duaa, can you open your mic? I can't hear. Hi.
Shukran, Mr. Hawa. Thank you, Ms. Hawa, for sharing your inspiring journey with us. It is now my pleasure to introduce our third speaker for today, Rudaina Jum'a Salim Al-Habsi. Rudaina is a recent graduate in optometry from University of Al-Brahmi in Sultanate of Oman. She is passionate about clinical optometry, community eye care, and vision care. She has actively participated in eye health awareness campaigns, free eye screening programs, and international optometry conferences, including serving as a speaker at Middle East Africa Council of Ophthalmology, Muscat International Ophthalmology Conference 2025. Today she will be presenting soft contact lenses related knowledge, practices, and usage among University of Technology and Applied Sciences Foundation student in Sultanate of Oman, IBRA. Rudaina, you may speak now.
My voice is clear to you guys, or?
Yeah, we can hear you, but try to speak louder.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rudaina Al-Habsi, and first of all, I would like to thank OPTOGLOBE community for providing me with such a great opportunity to share my research project.
I guess we're having technical issues. Rudaina, we can't hear you.
What about now?
Yeah,
Yes.
no.
Okay. So the research project is about soft contact lenses related knowledge, practices, and usage among University of Technology and Applied Sciences Foundation students in Sultanate of Oman, IBRA. This research was done by me along with my colleague Rinad Al-Jabi and under the supervision of our dear doctors, Dr. Gupi and also Dr. Zoelfigar. So first of all, let's go through the introduction. So research name, as I mentioned before, is soft contact lenses related knowledge, practice, and usage among UTAS students in Sultanate of Oman, IBRA. And as we all know, as optometrists, soft contact lenses are used to treat refractive errors such as myopia, hyperopia, and also astigmatism, and can be also used for cosmetic purposes too. And nowadays, over 140 million people worldwide are using soft contact lenses. So the prevalence of soft contact lens use between students range from 10.2 to 66.78%, and the knowledge of proper soft contact lens use range, with some students have the appropriate amount of knowledge, while others have some lack of awareness. So why the study is important? Of course, the study is very important because it will address for us the gap in awareness about contact lens hygiene and also complications related to the improper use of contact lenses. And also, it will inform the health prevention and educational program to promote more lens care, and this will improve the overall general health of the individual. So study contribution and practical implication, as I mentioned before, the study focused on foundation students at UTAS in Sultanate of Oman, IBRA, assessing their aim and knowledge related to the proper use of soft contact lenses. Let's move to talk about review of literature. So here I will compare between three different studies. So the first study was conducted in Balochistan, and the aim of the study was to assess contact lens hygiene and care practices among users in Balochistan. The type of the study was cross-sectional survey, and the methodology was that a survey distributed between 59 contact lens users, gathering some data about their usage and habits. So, as we can see in the key results, the contact lens hygiene practices varied among users. While many clean their lenses and cases appropriately, risky behaviors such as wearing lenses during sleeping and also bathing occurred. So we can conclude the study by saying that although some users followed good hygiene practices, inconsistent compliance and risky habits highlighted the need for better education and also proper guidance in contact lens care and use. The next study was conducted in Thailand, and the aim of the study was to examine soft contact lens use, knowledge, and also care behaviors among users in Thailand. The type of the study was also cross-sectional survey, and the methodology was that the data were collected from 337 university students. The survey focused on behaviors and knowledge related to contact lens use. So the key results from this study, we can see that more than half of the students demonstrated good contact lens care behaviors. However, contact lens overuse and also sleeping with lenses were frequently reported. So we can conclude the study by saying that knowledge alone did not ensure safe behaviors. So particularly extended wear and sleeping in lenses emphasize the importance of improving compliance through the education. The third study was conducted in Turkey, and the aim of the study was to assess hygiene, knowledge, and practices regarding soft contact lens use among students. The type of the study was a descriptive study, and the methodology was that a survey was conducted with 82 students to evaluate hygiene and practices, and also associated risk factors related to the use of soft contact lenses. So the result from the study shows that most students practice good hygiene, including washing hands before using contact lenses and also proper lens case cleaning. But considerable problems reported, such as sleeping and also swimming with contact lenses on. So to conclude the study, we can say that despite generally good hygiene practices occurred in the study, unsafe behaviors remain prevalent, and this indicates the need for increased awareness regarding soft contact lens proper use. So relevant to the study and importance. Why these three studies are important? These three studies provided us with a broader view on how students from all around the world are dealing with soft contact lenses. And also it will highlight for us the importance of education on proper lens care and the associated risk factors related to the improper usage of soft contact lenses. Let's move to talk about the methodology. We will go through it quickly so as we can focus on the study results. So first we have study type, design, and location. The study was cross-sectional descriptive study, focused on how to use soft contact lenses, their usage habits, and also knowledge. And study location, as I mentioned before, was at the UTAS in Sultanate of Oman, Israel. Second, we have sample size. The total students in the study was approximately 5,000. Calculated sample size was 357 students, and the final sample size was 393 students after adjusting for 10% non-response rate, and we are collected 405 responses from the students. So study participants, diverse sampling across gender and academic programs. Let's move to talk about study instruments and data collection. The tool was structured, self-administrated questionnaire, and the type of the questions in the survey was multiple choices. Those multiple choices focused on soft contact lens care and hygiene, usage, frequency, maintenance, and replacement, and some demographic information such as gender and academic programs. Of course, we pilot tested the survey before distributing it with a small sample so as to ensure clarity, reliability, and also validity of the questionnaire. Third, we have data collection. The questionnaire was distributed online through different channels of the university, such as university email and official platforms, and the time frame to collect the information from the students was 2 weeks. The data analysis done by using Excel and SPSS, and we also use mean, frequencies, and percentage so as to finalize the results. And now in the next slide, we will show the results of our research. So as you can see, table 1 shows us the result of demographic information. So here we can finalize that the majority of participants were from females, with a percentage of 57%. And majority of them were from Vocational School of Health Science with a percentage of 24.4%, and followed by engineering with a percentage of 23.7%. Most participants reported that their income was equal or less than their expense, and nearly half of them were living in dormitories, and we expected that since they are students. Of course, those information are important because it will later on will affect the choice of contact lenses and also how they store the contact lens and how they take care with their contact lenses. Table 2 we show for us the knowledge about contact lens use. So to finalize these results we have on this table, we can say that many students have insufficient knowledge, unfortunately, about contact lens use. Considerable number believe that one lens size fits everyone, which is wrong, and also some thought that sharing contact lenses is safe, and we all know that this action can lead to many dangerous contaminations. Also, many were unaware of the risks and possible complications related to the use of soft contact lenses, and notable portion believed contact lenses do not require professional approval or prescription. So overall, to sum up Table 2, we can say that findings show knowledge gaps regarding the safe use of contact lenses. In Table 3, we have practices and habits related to contact lens use. So most participants did not wear glasses before using contact lenses with a percentage of 59.5%. And over half learned lens handling from their healthcare professionals, which is a good sign. We can see that they have the guidance of how to deal with contact lenses before the real exposure. Most wear their lenses for less than 8 hours and also use them for less than 6 months, which is also a good sign. Visual correction were the main reason for use with a percentage of 57%, and most preferred the brand recommended by their doctors. However, some risky behaviors such as sharing lenses, sleeping with lenses, and also wearing them while swimming or showering also occurred in the results. Moving to talk about Table 4, which was about hygiene and care in contact lens use. So this table shows for us that most participants reported washing their hands before handling lenses and also changing their lenses when they expired. However, we can notice that several unsafe practices occurred, such as sleeping with contact lens on, wearing contact lenses while swimming or showering, and also washing lenses with tap water, which is dangerous, can lead to many severe contaminations such as acanthamoeba keratitis, which we all know that can lead to blindness. So these findings indicate that although some participants followed good hygiene practices, many still engaged in behaviors that increase the risks of complications. So we already go through the discussions of the four tables. Let's move to talk about the future implications. So we need to enhance educational programs related to soft contact lens use by organizing workshops, seminars, and awareness campaigns. So we as optometrists need to move in order to spread more awareness about how to use soft contact lenses in the right way, as normal people will not know how to do that. So we as an optometrist need to explain more. Second, we have strengthened professional guidance for contact lens users by encourage students to seek help from optometrists or ophthalmologists regarding lens insertion and removal, and also cleaning and maintenance of the contact lenses, in addition to managing discomfort or complications. We need to clarify for the contact lens users that as long as they feel discomfort, they need to contact with us. Also reinforce adherence to prescription requirements for purchasing contact lenses, and that is to reduce risk associated with contact lens use. Also increase awareness of harmful habits. We need to clarify for them that contact lenses can associated with some complications as they use wrong way. Promote further research by conducting studies across multiple universities, and also encourage routine eye examination, as routine eye examination is very important, can provide it for us like the protection of the problem before it occurs, and follow-ups to detect early signs, yeah, and also complication, and reinforce safe lens wearing practices. So here we have my colleague Rinad Al-Jabri invention, which is OptiNova Innovation and Devices Clarity Box. So this is a smart soft contact lenses case that will renew the solution by itself. And in the future, inshallah, Rinad will share with you some more details as the invention gets ready. So in conclusion, contact lenses use is common, but knowledge and hygiene are insufficient. So unsafe habits like sleeping, swimming, or cleaning lenses with tap water was common in many researches, and many students experienced pain or complications, yet continued using lenses without seeking professional guidance from the optometrist or ophthalmologist. And also strong need for better education, professional support, and also regular eye examination to reduce risk. So at the end, I would like to thank my dear doctors, Dr. Zoelfigar, Dr. Lufi, Dr. Jaita, and the Department of Optometry at the University of Bremen for their guidance. And also, I would like to thank OptoGlobe community again for providing me with such a great opportunity to share my research project, and hope it will be a guide for my younger colleagues in their future researches, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rudaina. Okay, moving
Thank you
forward
very much.
for our final speaker for today, Badr Al-Qahtani. Badr Al-Qahtani is the head of the Public Relations Community at Doctor of Optometry Club at King Saud University. Today he will represent the club and share its most prominent achievements and community impact. Dr. Badr.
With Duaa, the introduction for Dr. Badr Al-Qahtani, so he can start with us.
أهلا وسهلا. السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
ضروني عشان أفتح بس
Take your time.
هل هو باين أمامكم الآن؟
مبين.
تمام. أولا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد عليه أفضل الصلاة وتم التسليم. أنا بدر القحطاني من جامعة الملك سعود، رئيس لجنة العلاقات العامة من نادي دكتور البصريات. يطيب لي التواجد معكم هذا اليوم ويشرفني ويسعدني. لدينا اليوم بإذن الله أن يستعرض البعض من إنجازات نادي دكتور البصريات، وأيضا استعراض بعض المبادرات التي تسهم في صحة المجتمع ورفع التوعية. بداية النادي ابتدى منذ 11 سنة، والشيء الجميل أنه هذه 11 سنة مؤسسين النادي هم أنفسهم أعضاء هيئة التدريس، لذا جميع الطلاب التي يبلغ عددهم 400 طالب اليوم لا يرى النادي كمنشأ طلابي، بل يراه كإرث يجب المحافظة عليه وإظهاره كأفضل صورة. وهالشيء هذا هو اللي حقق المركز الأول على 150 نادي في جامعة الملك سعود على 5 سنوات على التوالي، والله الحمد. أولا رؤيتنا والرسالة اللي بنقدمها، رؤيتنا أنه نحن نرفع المستوى الوعي لدى المجتمع عن صحة العيون ورعاية العيون، وأيضا الهدف الأسمى اللي هو تعريف تخصص البصريات، خاصة أن في المملكة العربية السعودية تشترك طب العيون والبصريات، فيجد البعض أن هذول كلهم تخصص واحد، وهذا الشيء غير صحيح. صحيح نحن مكملين ولكن يوجد فرق. فمن الأشياء الجميلة أنه بعض الناس يأتون يقول نعم نعرف تخصص البصريات من المبادرات والفعاليات التي تقام من قبلكم. ما نسعى لتحقيقه، يهدف نادي دكتور البصريات القيام بحملات الفحص التطوعي المجاني والاكتشاف المبكر. بكل اختصار، بعض الناس لا يذهبون إلى المستشفيات أو المستوصفات لعمل الفحص الدوري وفحص البصر لديهم. الفعاليات هذه تقام في الأماكن التي ينتلي فيها الحشود مثل الأسواق أو الفعاليات التي تقيمها الدولة، فيكون الناس يعني من ضمن الفعاليات أن يتم فحص نظرهم، وكثير من الحالات لم يتم اكتشافها، خاصة أن بعض المرضى يصل أعمارهم إلى 25 سنة أو 20 سنة ويظن أن هذا هو النظر الطبيعي، ولكن مع الفحوصات التي يقيمها النادي تبين بعض الأشياء التي لديه لم يكن يعلم عنها. تمام. بداية البحث العلمي، نحن نعمل على ثقافة حنا في البحوث إن حنا نجمع المعلومات والداتا مثل اسم المريض ورقمه ومعلوماته والفحص التي يقيم عليه، طبعا بعد أخذ الموافقة منه لعمل بعض الأبحاث. مثلا في حال كان لدى بعض المرضى مثل مرض الكراتوكونس، يتم التواصل معه وتحويله إلى العيادة في جامعة الملك سعود، ومن بعد ذلك يتم إشراكه في بحث بعض الدكاترة التي يقام في نفس الوقت. الشراكات الاستراتيجية تقيم في المملكة العربية السعودية أيضا تنص بعض قرارات وزارة الصحة إلزام أغلب أو جميع ممارسين الصحيين على أنه يكون لديه حصيلة من الساعات التطوعية التي يجب أن يجمعها خلال السنة. لذا أحيانا عندما نقوم في بعض الفعاليات الكبرى يتم نزول مع الطلاب استشاريين والاستفادة من خبرتهم الكبيرة مثل أنه يستفيد الطالب منه أن يقف بجانبه ويتم الاستفادة من خبرات الاستشاري في أخذ والعطاء مع المستفيدين من الفعاليات. ثانيا التقنيات الحديثة.
دكتور
سم
بدي أغلبك تضغط على الكابشن اللي يظهر أمامك بالصورة وتتأكد إنه اللغة العربية واللغة الثانية للإنجليزية. الحضوري يفهم أنت إيش بتتكلم بالضبط. الترجمة بالضبط الأولى.
نعم لأنه
الأولى العربية. أيوة بالضبط.
عربيك إنجليش.
أيوة 100%. يعطيك العافية. تقدر
الله يعافيك. شكرا لك. أيضا التقنيات الحديثة، بعض الشركات بعد ما تنزل بعض الأجهزة يتم التعاون مع النادي بحيث أنه يتم عرضها لدى الناس، وأيضا لكي يراها بعض الطلاب والاستفادة منها والتعلم عليها. لدينا احنا في جامعة الملك سعود أول سنة نظام عندنا التدريس في خلال أول 6 سنين أو 6 سنين جميعا، في أول سنتين تأخذ عدد من الأجهزة من ثم تتدرج في الأجهزة الأخرى. لكن بعض الطلاب من أول سنة مجرد ما أنه يشارك مع النادي يرى أمامه أجهزة يأخذونها الطلاب في آخر سنة، فيكون سابق زملائه اللي ما شاركوا في النادي، فيكون هو متعلم عليها، بحيث أول ما يأخذها في المستوى الدراسي يكون انه متعلم عليها، وحتى اثناء الاختبارات ما يذاكر هذاك الوقت الكثير لانه متعلم عليها في الفعاليات ومطبق ايضا. عندنا الوعي الرقمي ولله الحمد، حساباتنا على تويتر وسناب شات والانستغرام وايضا التيك توك تعدت مشاهداتنا في المقاطع الهادفه والتثقيفيه اكثر من 6 مليون مشاهده. الابتكار في الرعايه ولله الحمد لدينا 3 طلاب لديهم براءات اختراع في قطاع البصريات، ومن حسن الحظ ان جميعهم حازوا على انهم يكونون قاده للنادي. القياده والعمل الجماعي. يعني النادي عندنا بيئه خصبه انك تستفيد منها وانك تبرز مواهبك او تكتشف مواهبك اللي ما اكتشفتها ومهاراتك. فاغلب الناس دخلوا معنا يعني ناس مشاركين في الميدان لكن اكتشفوا عندهم مهارات قياديه. ممتاز. عندنا ايضا 6 مبادرات ولله الحمد هي سبب نجاحنا، بها ما كان وصلنا اللي احنا وصلناها الان. بدايه مبادره جيل مبصر. هذه المبادره تستهدف ان احنا نزور المدارس الابتدائيه اللي يكون بدايه اعمارهم من 6 سنين الى تقريبا 11 سنه. من القصص الكثيره اللي احنا نواجهها تقريبا قفلنا 250 حاله مختلفه، سواء من الريفراكتيف ايرور او الامبلوبيا او الحول. ما كانوا اهلهم يدرون عنها، الطفل ايضا يظن ان هذا النظر الطبيعي، الاطفال جميعهم نفس النظر، لكن مع مشاركاتنا في مبادرات جيل المبصر والفحص للعمر هذا خاصه اكتشفنا حالات وتم تحويلها وعلاجها ولله الحمد. المبادره الاخرى اللي هي مبادره بوصله. مبادره بوصله احنا نشوفها مثل النور، سواء للطالب اللي توه يدخل التخصص او الطالب اللي خلاص على وشك ان يتخرج. بدايه اول ما يدخل الطالب يتم التواصل مع بوصله لتعليمهم وتثقيفهم وتنويرهم، وش المواد اللي راح ياخذونها، طريقه الدراسه، وش راح انت تصير بعد ما تدرس، وتوضيح بعض الافكار او الاشياء اللي ما هي واضحه لهم. اما للخريجين يتم استقطاب الناس اللي تخرجوا لهم تقريبا فتره 5 سنين ونالوا تجربه سوق العمل، فيجونا زيارات للناس اللي بيتخرجون، يعلمونهم كيف هو سوق العمل، ما هي الوظائف، كيف انك توصل مناصب وتترقى مناصب عليا باسرع وقت، في التركات هذه. فبوصله نستفيد منها سواء للناس اللي توهم داخلين التخصص او انهم على وشك انهم يتخرجون. مبادرة مجلة الكحال ولله الحمد الآن أصدرنا 6 مجلات. المجلة هذه ميزتها أنه مثيرة للاهتمام، سواء أنت كمتخصص في البصريات أو شخص قارئ ما لك علاقة في البصريات. مواضيع جدا مثيرة للاهتمام موجودة أيضا في موقع إلكتروني للشخص المستمعين، إذا كان لديك بحث أو حاجة ودك إنك تكتب عنها وتشاركها عندكم في الجامعة، أو يعني من الأفكار الجميلة ممكن إنك تجدها في هذا الكتاب. أيضا جميع اللي كتبوا في هذا الكتاب كلهم من نخبة النخبة في مجال البصريات وطب العيون. مبادرة صحتي هي وش فكرتها بالضبط؟ انه اي شخص او اي فعاليه مثلا زي السمنه نربطها، هل هي لها علاقه بالبصر او لا؟ في حال كان العرض الصحي هذا له علاقه بالبصر، يتم التواصل مع هذه الجهه المنظمه للمبادره واشراك مبادره صحتي معهم. مبادره الجوله الفحصيه هذه تقتصر على المدينه الجامعيه. جامعة الملك سعود تعتبر مدينة من كبرها، فيتم فيها جولات فحصية على الكليات وأيضا على الأروقة في الجامعة. نسوي تقريبا كل أسبوع نستهدف كلية معينة، أو نحن نروح للبهو بحيث نحن يعني نغطي أكبر شريحة من الطلاب ويتم فحصهم. في حال كان عندهم لا قدر الله أشياء يعني تستدعي التحويل، يتم تحويلهم للمستشفى الجامعي أو عيادات البصريات عندنا في كلية العلوم الطبية التطبيقية. مبادرة مستقبلا وفي أعينهم، احنا عندنا مبادرتين تستهدف الأطفال. البداية مبادرة جيل مبصر اللي استعرضناها قبل شوي، وعندنا مبادرة، ولكن في خطأ هنا، أنها مبادرة الجولة الفحصية، هي مبادرة مستقبلا في أعينهم. مبادرة مستقبلا في أعينهم ما نروح للمدارس، بل نحن نسوي نزول ميداني على أماكن تجمع الأطفال، زي أماكن الترفيه أو الأسواق أو الأماكن اللي يتم الذهاب لها من قبل الأطفال. هذه فكرة جديدة ألا وهي بودكاست النادي. بودكاست النادي نستهدف فيه كفاءات البصريات وطب العيون واستضافتهم، بحيث ناخذ معهم لقاء سواء صوتي أو فيديو، وننزلها على منصة اليوتيوب. في هذه المبادرة خاصة نستهدف فيها أكفاء البصريات وطب العيون لكي تكون المعلومة صحيحة 100% لأجل أن يستفيد منها المستفيد أو المستمع. نهاية، هذا موقع الرسمي للنادي، الكيو ار يمكنكم الاطلاع عليه. مجرد ما أنك توجه الهاتف راح يتم استعراض موقع النادي، وترون في أبرز إنجازات النادي ومستجدات النادي. ولا مانع أن إذا في شخص حاب أنه يشارك معنا موجود في خيار أنك تسجل معنا. شكرا لكم جميعا على حسن استماعكم، وأنا سعيد جدا بتواجدي معاكم. بإذن الله لنا لقاء في أوبتوغلوب الإصدارات القادمة. وأخص بالشكر الدكتور سلمان بن فارس السميري رئيس نادي دكتور البصريات على ترشيحي ليكون متحدثا لهذا اليوم، وأشكر الأستاذة دانيا على جهودها. يعطيكم العافية جميعا.
شكرا أستاذ بدر.
العفو.
Thank you to all our speakers for their valuable presentations and everyone who participated in today's discussion. We will now move to our breakout sessions. In a moment, you will be randomly assigned to one of our breakout rooms. Each room will have a moderator to guide the discussion. It is a great opportunity to ask questions, exchange ideas, network with fellow participants, and build a new professional connection. Please stay with us while the system transfers everyone.
راح يتم نقلكم بشكل عشوائي على غرف مشابهة للبريك بين المؤتمر، بتحكي على شكل الإلكتروني، تقدروا تتناقشوا وتعمل تعاونات، واللي عنده أي سؤال يقدر إنه يسأل ويتناقش وتتبادلوا الخبرات. راح نشوفكم بالرومز، تقدروا تنتقلوا حاليا، ما تعملوا خروج من الميتينج لأنه لسه في أسئلة لما نخلص منصة الروم.
أيضا.
I'll do the breakout rooms again, so bear with me, please. Something went wrong. So you will all be returning, and then I'll send you back to your 4 rooms. Thank you.
I would like to remind everyone that certificates of participation will be provided after the breakout session. So please stay with us.
Pemije. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Who is moderating the rooms, the other rooms?
Yeah, I'm trying to move them because I saw some of them are in double rooms. Okay. I can
Yes.
see Duaa is in room 1. I
Okay.
think Laraiba is in the right room. Dania is already engaging in her room.
Okay.
I think they are all spread across now. Dr.
Okay.
Ameer is in room 3. So I think it's just to balance the other participants in the different rooms.
Yeah, let's just leave it like that, Pemije, because they started talking already.
All right, so I'll join room 1.
Yes, yes, I'll be here. In 25 minutes, I'll close the room.
All right, man.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Evans, you don't want to be in a room? Mohamed Kasim Khan. Yeah.
So from my side, it was like not much discussion because there's a lot of shy people in the room, but it was really incredible to meet them there and see their commitment during our summit today until the end. They are so welcome to our day and they make the change, make it beautiful, make it shining, a remarkable experience together. Thank you all attendants for it.
Thank you to Dania.
We had a great discussion talking about the difference between working in a clinic and a hospital with one of the attendants.
Guys, if anyone has any question for one of the speakers for today, you can answer by asking us the question or write it on the chatting, and we will send it to the speaker and we will give you the answer as soon as possible. Never feel shy. You can try any answer you want to ask us about.
Okay, I think we can go ahead.
As I said before, we conclude our session today with a sincere appreciation to VOSH International for their support and commitment to advancing global eye health and optometry education.
You want me to go now?
Yes, Mrs. Maria, please. Executive Director of VOSH International.
Okay, so I was hoping to hear about the working groups because the topics were very interesting. But I know that it's been a long day and it's Friday. So I would like to thank you on behalf of VOSH International for your participation and your enthusiasm. There were like more than almost 100 people attending. That means that 100 interested brains were joining us. And it's always a pleasure to see the interest that the students have, in learning and sharing. We hope we will facilitate some more sharing around the topics that you discuss. But there is definitely many important things happening in your region. And the presenters, thank you very much to the speakers who joined us and shared their experiences and knowledge with us. That really demonstrates that your region can contribute a lot to the development of optometry in other regions. I think from our side, from VOSH International, we always promote, our humanitarian spirit, not only because we know that optometry can change lives, and you, as optometrists or future optometrists, will do that, but also because if you see many patients and different patients, you will be better doctors. And the practice is very important in your field. So I would like us, VOSH International, and your schools, your students, your teachers, to work closer to see how can we promote more humanitarian outreach, so you can really see more patients, you can practice more, you can discuss more case studies. There's so much need, in so many parts, in so many countries in your region, that there will be no lack of patients, isn't it? You will have plenty of patients. So we need to facilitate and see how we could facilitate these platforms for you to really do more humanitarian work with an educational purpose. That is something that will interest us a lot. So thank you very much for attending. Thank you to the organizing committee for making sure that, things went as smooth as possible. I apologize for the breakout rooms. Thank you for trying the translated captions. I think those who don't speak Arabic, we did understand quite a lot of the presentations, but that's how it should be, isn't it? Language should not be a barrier to us. So thank you for trying, and we will continue testing any technological innovation that comes our way to be able to communicate. Thank you to the participants for, spending all these hours with us. I hope that you have new ideas and new motivation because your career is very, very important and beautiful. Thank you for OPTOGLOBE for challenging us every year to be with you and to learn from you. And have a very good evening and have a lovely Friday and rest of your weekend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Moreira.
Thank you.
Have a nice day all. See you when I see you.
Yeah.
Assalamu
So, Laraiba, the Summit Organizing Committee Chair, to give her vote of thanks, and shortly we would share the attendance form for the certificates. Apologies that the link is broken. We had unpublished the form after yesterday's session, and unfortunately, we forgot to publish it back before today's session, and I think the person who's in charge of the form is not okay. I don't know, but I'm not able to access it from my end, but we'll be creating another form and sharing soon. So apologies for the delayed entry into the form. Thank you. So Laraiba, please, you have the
Greetings, everybody. I am Laraiba Iftikhar, joining you from Pakistan, and I'm the chairperson of the Summit Organizing Committee. As we come to the end of day 2 of OPTOGLOBE Global Student Summit 2026, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for your time, your energy, and your active participation today. Seeing students, educators, and professionals from around the world that have come together to learn, exchange ideas, and build meaningful connection remind us of the true strength of our global optometry community. Because every question asked, every insight that have been shared, and every discussion that is held today has contributed to making this summit a truly enriching experience. And I would also like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to our distinguished guest speakers, moderators, to the VOSH International, and to my entire organizing committee, because the dedication and teamwork behind the scene have made today's session possible. And I'm incredibly proud of what we have achieved together, neglecting the ups and downs, because things happen when we are organizing something big, and it's totally fine. There's nothing to be worried about the form thing, because we will be sharing the form with you soon. As a chairperson, it has been a privilege to witness the enthusiasm and passion that each of you brings to this platform, because your engagement motivate us to continue creating opportunities that inspires learning, collaboration, leadership, and service. Before we conclude, I kindly encourage everyone to take a few moments to complete our feedback form. Your suggestions are invaluable and will help us to make the remaining sessions of day 3 and day 4 and the future editions of the summit even more impactful. And if you have any questions, ideas, or would simply you would like to stay connected with us, I will be sharing my email address and the contact information in the Zoom chat shortly. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And more importantly, I hope to see you all again tomorrow for another exciting day of insightful discussions, inspiring speakers, and meaningful conversations. And there is still so much more to learn, discover, and to achieve together. So thank you once again for being the part of this incredible journey. Until tomorrow, stay safe, stay curious, stay inspired, and continue making a positive impact in your community and in the future of optometry. Have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world and wherever from you are joining us. Thank you, and see you all tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Please do check your email inbox for updates on the summit for tomorrow. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.